going to show you now how to do a quick data export from the Sentec software. So find your Sentec software and open it. Mine's just down here in the taskbar. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to maximize that, and we're going to go to our files. I don't have any files in our data file, but I've got some examples here, so I'm just going to open up this example because I know there's plenty of data in that one. And there we have our data. Now we want to export each of these channels into an Excel. So let's just go straight to export data. So that's File, Export Data. Click on Export Data. We make sure our selected channels are selected. There's any channels left over in here are not going to be selected and they're not going to be exported. So if I actually just shift that one over there, you'll see it's gone from this box and it's in that one now. But I do want to add it because we want all three channels. And you'll notice that with the other settings in this export engine, they're all pretty much optimized for what you need. It is going to include heading lines and status codes and operator events. I generally uncheck the operator events and status codes. It's not necessary, you just want the data. Also the tabulator column separator is probably the best because it gives you the best flexibility of just changing your file type into an Excel and then opening up as an Excel. So let's just leave that one as it is. We can change it into so that the commas are separated by the columns are separated by a comma. But that means you have to go through a comma separated file before you can actually save it as an Excel. So let's leave it as tabulator. And just leave these ticked, that's fine. Fixed column width and time column because we do want the time column in there as well. And then we can just export. So OK, and it'll ask us if you've done this for the first time, it'll actually give you a warning before this step that tells you that there are going to be patient information in this export. So so be careful with who you share it with. But this is I've just gone, no, I don't want to see that box again, so it's taken me straight through to the save box. I'm just going to put this on my desktop, and you'll notice that this is a VEX file type. There's no other options but to save it as a VEX. That's no problem, and you'll see why in just a second as I save it. So desktop, save, and click, and you'll see that that's been exported. OK, and we go OK. Then we can either minimize or close the Sentec software, and we can find where it's put that file. Here it is here. And we'll see it's a .vex file type. Now if you don't have a .vex there, because none of your files are showing the folder, the file extensions, then that's very easy. Just go to an Explorer window and go to your viewing options. This is Windows 10, so this is where we find it here. Change the folder and search options, and we go View. Sometimes this, in previous versions of Windows, it's kind of over on the left-hand side over here. So have a look. You should be able to find the folder viewing options somewhere. It'll open up as general, but you want View. And we're going to go down here and untick that box that says Hide Extensions for Known File Types. Untick that, and you should have all the extensions available to you. Then when you go back to your desktop, you'll find that the extension is available as it has always been with mine, which is fine. You then want to just very slow double click on that file type and change that to an XLS file type. Then we click off it. It'll say, are you sure you want to change it because it might become unstable? That's fine. Yes, we do. And here we are. We've got an Excel file type, and then I can double click on that and open it up as an Excel. Yes. And there you have your exported files. Now, these are hashed out because the column's just not big enough. We just make the column bigger, and there it is. It's going to give you all kinds of information on the patient and the device, the serial number, etc. And you'll often notice that the CO2 numbers are not there quite yet. That's because it's stabilizing, and then when it does stabilize, it comes in. So you'll actually see that this is a per second, depending on the sample rate of the machine that's set to, it's a per second reading. So you've got lots and lots and lots of readings here. You'll see there's probably 2128. There's going to be 60 readings before it gets to 2129 here. And there you have it. You'll find also that you've got a raw CO2 number and you've got a drift corrected CO2 number. So that DC means drift corrected. Now if you're doing some research and you want the best possible number, it's going to be the drift corrected number, because it uses a calibration before and a calibration at the end of the study to then correct for any drift that's happened during the study. And that's probably a better number for you. If you don't have a drift corrected number, it's because the machine wasn't allowed to calibrate within 5 minutes of taking it off the patient. So if you make sure you clean the probe, obviously put it back in the docking station door and close it, it'll be able to calibrate and it'll give you that as soon as you take it off the patient, and it'll give you that drift corrected number. So there you have it. You've got a CO2 reading, you've got the time, you've got a CO2 reading, you've got the drift corrected CO2 reading, and you've got the SATs and the pulse rate there. Okay.